Monday. It shows 7 men, alleged collaborators with Israel, being dragged into a circle, forced to their knees, and then shot from behind. Reuters has chosen to pause the video, which a Hamas source later confirmed as authentic. The green headbands worn by some of the masked, armed men in the video match those worn by Hamas militants. The identity of the killed men could not be independently verified. The date the video was filmed could not be independently verified either, but a Hamas source said it happened on Monday in Gaza City. Though greatly weakened after 2 years of Israeli bombardment and ground incursions, Hamas has been gradually reasserting itself, moving back into the streets since the ceasefire took hold over the weekend. Residents said fighters have become increasingly visible, deploying along routes needed for aid deliveries. Palestinian security forces say dozens of people have been killed in clashes between Hamas militants and rivals in recent days. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has consistently maintained that the war cannot end until Hamas gives up its weapons and ceases to control Gaza. It's a demand that the fighters have rejected, torpedoing all previous peace efforts. US President Donald Trump, having announced that the war is now over, said on Monday that Hamas still had a temporary green light to keep order. Hamas sources told Reuters on Tuesday the group would tolerate no more violations of order in Gaza, which target collaborators, armed looters and drug dealers.
On this issue, I'm joined by Eli Piesh, Director International Relations, Israel Defense and Security Forum. He joins me live from Jerusalem. And I'm joined by Yanki Faber, Senior Journalist, the Orthodox Community of Israel, live from Tel Aviv. Thank you, both of you, for joining me. Let me straight away go to LA. It's unbelievable. I mean to say, Hamas is back in Gaza and they have not even, the basic needful has not been done. How do you expect the ceasefire to continue?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I would say what's interesting about the videos is that this is not brand new. This has been going on for quite some time. Once the American-backed Gaza Humanitarian Fund has been in operation, Hamas has been going out and executing Gazans who were getting their aid from the Gaza Humanitarian Fund, not getting their aid from Hamas. So this is something that was happening. The difference is that now it's getting international attention. Once the Trump-Netanyahu plan was unveiled a couple weeks ago, and then after President Trump's speech at the Israeli Knesset on Monday, there is a lot more anticipation, there is a lot more focus, and there is a little bit more accountability for what Hamas is doing. So the fact that we're discussing about some of these atrocities that Hamas is doing is very important to see that Hamas is not an element that should be in any way anybody should be seeing as governing, but they are brutal, and the need. It's not a matter of whether the Prime Minister Netanyahu said the war is going to end. The way that there will be peace, or at least will be a real end of the fighting, is when Hamas is disbanded. And that is both for Israeli security as well as for the security of the Gazan people.
Yangi, how can Hamas be dismantled? Because if you say that, Hamas leaves Gaza, Hamas can still operate from Lebanon. It can operate from independent pockets which are, adjoining Israel. How do you dismantle an organization which doesn't want itself to be dismantled?
Well, as we speak, the commander of CENTCOM in the United States Army just announced and he called Hamas to stop killing the people in Gaza. Well, since Israel left most of Gaza, Hamas is basically killing everybody that was against them, and we saw what you just showed on the TV, on the video, how they just kill, and they've been doing it since the ceasefire started.
Yanki, are you saying that the terrorist infrastructure is still kicking, still hidden, the tunnels? Again,
sorry?
Are you saying that the infrastructure built by Hamas is still there?
Yes, Hamas is in control in Gaza. I mean, not in all Gaza, but probably like 50% of Gaza. They're trying to rebuild the tunnels. They're trying to show. The reason why they actually showing those videos to the public is because they want to make sure that everybody in Gaza sees it and nobody will ever dare to go against them. Now, America, United States, has warned Gaza, has warned Hamas to stop this killing, but I don't think Hamas listens, well, you have to understand, there isn't any real leaders in Gaza. There is maybe one or two, terrorist leaders, and all the rest are hiding in Qatar or Turkey or in some other country. Nobody really controls Gaza. It's like a whole bunch of people with the Kalashnikov, with weapons, and they're just walking around Gaza and trying to control Gaza. Gaza looks like Germany after the Second World War. I don't understand how people can live in Gaza, and the best for the people of Gaza is they should leave Gaza and rebuild the whole place. But they don't want to, and also Egypt is against it. Seriously, the world is now watching how people are killing each other in Gaza, and you can see that nobody cares. Why? Because they kill each other. Israel is not involved, the Jewish people are not involved, so the world doesn't care if they kill each other, if they destroy the rest of what's left of Gaza. And the way it looks like, it's going to be like this in the next few weeks.
Okay, let me play out about to Donald Trump, and then I'm going to go to Elish. And Elish, my question is Gaza getting broken into number of warlords, but after what Trump says?
Well, they're going to disarm, and because they said they were going to disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them.
How will you do that?
I don't have to explain that to you. But if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. They know I'm not playing games. Okay? Now, we did something monumental. We got the hostages back. That was the first thing we had to do. Above all else, get the hostages back. Now, they misrepresented because we were told they had 26, 24 of dead hostages, if we can use those terms.
Eli, the question remains the same. Is Gaza getting divided into warlords, different militia groups?
More than likely. Hamas will do some of them, but there are other warlords, there are other clan leaders that were there. This is something that we've been speaking about for the last 2 years. Not just that it was likely to happen in Gaza, but we're already seeing that happening in Judea and Samaria, many call the West Bank. Why? Because there are many clans that are very concerned and are frankly petrified about a potential creation of a Palestinian state. They've seen how brutal and how corrupt the Palestinian Authority is, the leaders in the Palestinian movement. And one of the things that really has changed is that these people, both in Gaza and in Judea and Samaria and the West Bank, they've seen how Israel have treated the Druze in Syria, an ethnic minority outside of Israel's borders that Israel has been protecting, sending humanitarian aid, protecting, despite the fact that many countries, many allies of Israel, have been pushing and pressuring Israel to abandon them, to allow al-Shara, the leader of Syria, to be presented as an international leader, a respected international leader, not the former ISIS terrorist, but as an international leader. As long as Israel is there, it's protecting the Druze, it is quite obvious that there are major problems about al-Shara. Israel is continuing to protect the Druze, and I think you can start seeing a lot of other minorities and other groups understanding that Israel will be there to protect them if they are doing effectively, fighting back against Hamas, fighting against corruption, fighting back against Palestinian entities that threaten the security of Israel.
Yankee, do you feel that Hamas can go the Hezbollah way? They don't dismantle, disappear from Gaza, go to other countries and continue to attack Israel from there?
I don't think so. Maybe some of the people in Gaza, maybe some of the leaders that were still alive in Gaza will take the chance that Israel and the United States have offered. They should leave Gaza and they will be and nobody will touch them, nobody will kill them. But you need to understand.
But where will they go? The whole question is, they're not going to go to Qatar. They're not going to walk all the way to Qatar.
Yeah, but it's not safe for Hamas anywhere in the world. Israel has shown that they can kill Hamas members in Iran, in Qatar. The only place they haven't done it is Turkey, because I think they don't want to mess around with Erdogan. But you need to understand the amount of hate the people in Gaza, Hamas has against Israel. They want to destroy us. They want to destroy the country. They don't want to go to a different country. They want to stay in Gaza, keep living in tunnels, keep living the way they live, and want to kill Jews. They want to kill Israelis. They don't want to go to a different country, because if they would want to go, they would have done it a long time ago. I don't see how Hamas is leaving nicely Gaza, only if Israel or maybe, I don't know, some other countries will destroy the rest of Hamas.
If we say that Hamas is not going to leave Gaza, then how will you have a lasting agreement for a ceasefire? I'm not even talking about a peace plan, resettlement, or sort of a political resolution, idea of a political state. Just a basic ceasefire.
Yeah, the ceasefire is going to have to be enforced by Israel.
And has that issue been resolved of the dead bodies of the hostages? Has that been resolved, Ilesh?
Not yet. Not yet. We still have many of the dead bodies of hostages have not been returned, which is obviously a major concern. And it's something that Israel obviously is very sensitive about, and Israel is not going to give up on. One of the hostages who are waiting for someone who's been a hostage for almost a decade, Hadar Golden, was killed in a previous engagement, and we're still waiting for his body to return. So Israel is not giving up. But I think the thing that has fundamentally changed is that, when President Trump came into office, there was a hostage deal, and that happened, and the hostage was released the day that President Trump was inaugurated. That deal was between Trump, Israel, and Hamas, brokered by Qatar. This time, it was different. This was a deal between Trump and Qatar. Hamas is not a party to the negotiation, it's Qatar. And that's why President Trump felt confident traveling to Israel, expecting that he will see hostages, that he could celebrate, that he had returned the hostages, even before he left D.C. and there were no hostages in Israel. He knew that it was going to happen. He knew Hamas was going to play games with him and try to embarrass him because Qatar was not going to stand for it. And I think that is, if there is a hope that right now something may change, Qatar's relationship with the U.S. is contingent upon this deal moving forward.
Absolutely.
And if this deal doesn't move forward, that is something that Qatar will have to decide what they want to do. Do they want to protect Hamas, or do they want to value the relationship?
I think the behavior of these states needs to change, and I think even the behavior of Erdogan, though changed for a bit under Trump's pressure, needs to change in a longer run, that he can't patronize Hamas leadership through political patronage and its cadre through financial patronage. Thank you both of you for joining me. And this is all I had on point today. I'll see you at the same time tomorrow. Thank you and good night.
एसोसिएट स्पॉन्सर बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा के संग त्योहार की उमंग।